Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the 92, our first episode of 2024. As always, I'm joined by my good friend, Femile Samni, and co-host, player for Boreham. I'm moving insane right now. Fem, this is your...
You have to be saying play for Bromley and all them things there.
It's mad, isn't it? Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that?
They know by now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the 92, our first episode of 2024. As always, we'll be bringing you up close and personal to the National League. I'm joined by my good friend, Femile Samni. Why are you smiling like that? Why are you smiling?
I'm trying to put on a nice face.
Okay, yeah, the nice face. That's what we need. That's what we need. As always, we'll bring you the goals, the information, the latest news, all around from the great league that is the National League. And welcome back, Fem. How are you? How was your New Year's?
I'm all right. I was smiling because I'm trying to put on a brave face for the disappointment we just received and I guess cancelling us on us in the 11th Jamal.
It gets like that. It gets like that. I think this is the first time we've had one cancel so late, but life happens, I suppose. So
we've had a couple cancels, but we've always figured that we've always favors to come in for us quickly, But this one here, it was too late notice to get a replacement,
Nah, it happens, man.
It happens, though. It happens. It's the job we're in, ain't it?
Of course. But tell me about your New Year's. How was it?
It was lovely, Went to church, and I just went into the new year with God and also with my family.
Nice.
And after that, I just went home, popped a bottle of bubbly, had a glass, and went sleep. Amazing. Again, the simple pleasures are the best now,
You're right.
What about you?
Do you know what? It was beautiful, man. I was spending time with the family. There's a tradition that my mum has where she has a party every single year. All the family come, we eat, spend time with each other, talk about how our year's gone, talk about what we want to do for the next year, resolutions, all of that good stuff. So, yeah, it was amazing. Family time's the best time for me.
Most definitely. And do you know what? This festive period has been amazing for me, for the family, because it's always the time everyone's running around all year round, but this time of the year is like where everyone gets together and really bond, and not only family but also like your close friends that are basically family as well. It's like everyone just starts being around each other more, and it's a great period. But yeah, it don't last forever. We got to get back to work, innit?
That's the thing. And do you know what's crazy? Especially around that period, it's like 3 games and sometimes 10 days. And the body's just... floor, man. But
yeah,
we've been doing it for a long time now. So I guess the body's used to it, isn't it?
Most definitely. Jam, I wanted to ask you a question though, because obviously, look, I don't think it's a secret that you haven't really been involved. You haven't been playing, for the last, I don't know how long it's been.
Yeah.
How have you found this this time out?
It's been tough. I think I got injured on November the 11th against, I think it was Bromley. And it's been tough, man. Especially when you're so used to playing. Like, I'm a player that plays 30 to 40 games every year since I've started playing professionally, So being out, but to be fair, it's been tough because it's been a bit in the air about what the issue is. And obviously seeing the boys going out there battling every single week, it's tough to be away from it. And it's a bit of a... Sometimes it can get you down, As much as you're positive and you look for the silver linings, everything, it's tough when you're not in there and in the war with the boys. But it's life, isn't it? And last year I had an injury. I was out for a month or a month and a bit. So that kind of prepared me in a way. But to start the year injured, you know, when you start new year, it's all afresh. You want it to be a positive year and start the right way. But it's been difficult. It's been difficult. But to be fair, the boys always help. Being in and around the changing room. Obviously, the gaffers kept me involved in that. It's been okay, man. But there are days when it's just like, oh, this needs to end. Like, and to be fair, I've spoke to a lot of people who, over the years, who've been injured. I've been telling them the same thing. So it's time for me to take my own advice, and just look for the way back quickest route possible, man.
Yeah, for sure. I must say that like you definitely still add some sort of value, you know, before games. You're still a massive voice in the changing room. Obviously, you can't play the game for us, but we hear you. We hear you on in the stands. You know, we hear your voice. We hear your voice in the changing room. There was a game where um, you came up to me and I looked at you in your eyes, and I couldn't even look you in your eyes because I know how badly you wanted to be out there. That
Mm.
one touched me. That one touched me. You know.
There's a few games that are like, obviously you want to play every game.
Mm.
There's certainly not even against the big clubs, but the clubs that you enjoy playing against when you know it's going to be a real war. But I suppose it's something that you know a lot about when you've done your Achilles.
Yeah.
I can take inspiration from that as well.
Yeah, for sure, most definitely. And how does this fare, like in terms of obviously, look, everyone thinks a career is that, but we all know. You know my diagram already, Jamal. You already know. Life don't do this. Life is there. We go. That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
So, 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 in your career, obviously, there's many tough times. There's many obstacles that we have to hurdle over and overcome. How does this fare in terms of toughest periods of your career?
I think that's a good question, you know. How did it fare? Do you know what? Timing is everything. And as much as I can't affect it. So as much as I want to be back tomorrow or yesterday, you know, some things just take a little bit longer, you know. And when you can't affect something, if it was in my control, I'd be fine with it, but it's not, so I can't really affect it. But in terms of the toughest, it's probably ranked second. I think there was a time when I was out of contract after I left. I was at York and I went to Grimsby and left there, and I was really struggling for a club. And I ended up at Welling. That was a real tough period where I didn't know where my career was going, and it was like it was a challenge, but also a reset because it was like, okay, your career can go one or two ways now. You're at Welling, who, no disrespect, great club, great people down there at the time, great manager in Jamie Day, but it wasn't at the level that I was used to. And I could have easily stayed there, but it was one of those ones where I had to really knuckle down and understand that I'm here to do a job and this may be a stepping stone to get back to where I want to be. But injuries, it's the worst part. It's the worst part of being a footballer. And I know
Even ranking it second is actually crazy to me because I know how tough a career can be. You know what I mean? And that means it must be really tough. But it is, isn't it? It's injuries. You know.
yeah, for sure. Especially when I'm not used to getting injured, fam. Okay, I had one. I probably had this is my longest time I've been out. You know, so um, but it's always about training the mind to be strong enough to handle any situation. You know what I mean? So keeping myself busy, keeping active, like keeping the routine. That's been the most important thing, my routine. So coming in, going to the gym, still getting the right amount of sleep, maybe cutting down on the things I eat because I'm not trying to get a belly. But yeah, it's the routine that's been the most important thing, man. But talk to me about your toughest part of your career and what that was.
It was probably similar. You know, I got relegated from the EFL with York City.
Mm.
Um, I had clubs. 'Cause I played a lot that season, and I had clubs. And you know how it goes. Clubs, I always say they're like women in terms of if you don't give them the attention, they're gonna move on
Mm.
fast.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, that situation. Clubs. I had a couple meetings. I've gone on holiday, come back. These clubs have moved on.
Yeah.
And I found myself in a similar situation to where you was in it, where you were clubless and whatnot. And there's always a silver lining in everything though, because during that time, I remember I've gone on holiday, I've come back, and I remember like when Boreham would sign me, that was like 2016. I've gone there to train, and then they've offered me like a non-contract. And when I saw the contract, yeah, I couldn't believe it. If I'm being honest with you, like it was like, how have I gone from earning this to this? You know. And the first thing I'd done was get rid of my car, because I thought, do you know what? I can't have a mad outgoing on this wage, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember getting rid of my car, but I'm very shameless like that. I'm not the type of guy that needs to put on a brave face or image, like, you know what I mean? I don't mind. So yeah, let me get rid of this. It's not right, it'll come back in it. It'll come back, you know. So got rid of that. But it was just the feeling of me having to make these moves because of my circumstance, if that makes sense. And yeah, it was a blow. But like I said, there's always a silver lining in everything. And yeah, obviously I'm here today, Boreham Wood, and the club has come on leaps and bounds. Like, you know, chairman's been incredible, Gaffer's been incredible as well, you know, and we're in a place today where the club's in a good space, isn't it? In a good space, we've had a lot of success. So yeah, that was the silver lining in that situation. But if I'm being honest with you, I didn't predict it at the time. So there was a bit of worry, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The other silver lining was it got me thinking about other things outside of football.
Yeah.
That was another silver lining, which was good. So that's when I started dibbling dabbling. Okay, let me do this coaching badge. Okay, let me do this venture. Let me do that. Let me see what I'm saying. And it's that was brilliant, because I feel like that's propelled me. That's propelled me a lot in terms of what I do away from football. But yeah, like I'll say that's the toughest time. The injury, it was a tough time. Don't get it twisted. But you know what? And Jamal, you'll probably be able to understand it a little bit more. You know what? With age, you've kind of got the mental capacity to deal with it.
Yeah.
So at the time I got injured, it was crazy. Everyone around was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I was like that to a certain extent. But for some reason, I kind of knew like, oh, I can deal with this. Like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, it comes with the game, innit? It comes with the game. Obviously, I've been fortunate to not get injured, but yeah, that came. So it was tough, but I wouldn't even rank it on my personally. I know it was a ruptured Achilles and I was out for 6 months, but I wouldn't rank it in comparison to when I didn't have a contract, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people forget that. So, for instance, players that are at the end of their contracts and they get injured, that's a whole other worry. They start, oh, how am I going to provide? How am I going to pay the bills? If you're injured, 9 times out of 10, will you get a new contract? Maybe not. You know, so these are the things that, as much as being a footballer is great, there's also that other side to it that's really, it's a heavy weight. And if you're not careful, it can really weigh heavy on you and get you down, you know. So that's why.
Jamal, let me tell you something scary. Yeah, let me tell you something scary.
Let's say.
You see, yeah, when I was like 21, I wasn't playing and I couldn't get in the team. I found that harder than how I found my injury, simply because I did not know how to deal with that at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't have the growth, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the information. It was just like my world was ending, like literally. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like that, and it's so crazy, like not playing. You'll get back in the team eventually, like, come on, it's part of the game. But when I was young, that was so crazy for me. I can't get in it. I used to war managers, like really, you're messing with my life. Like, do you know what I mean? like literally that. And yeah, it's just like I wasn't mentally prepared for that at the time. And like that's what I'm saying, like that's why growth is a beautiful thing, because like something that's way, way worse, like in retrospective, that's way worse, like an injury. But because I've grown to a level where okay, I'm now to hand, it wasn't as bad. I didn't feel how I felt. I remember the feeling, bro. I didn't feel how I felt when I wasn't playing, or do you know what I mean? And like I said, man, yeah, like your pains, your power, like that birthed a lot of things. It birthed Injury Chronicles, which I think is my best work. My best work, if I'm being honest with you. We might have to get you on there. No, and it's not a good thing that we're getting you on there,
Of
but
course, but is there
we're gonna have to
not?
get you in there when you're back in that. But yeah,
No, we're back, we're back. But is there not a certain amount of time you have to be out for to be in Injury Chronicles, though? Is there not a long-term injury? Like, that's what I thought it was.
Jamal, man, yeah. Hopefully you're back as soon as possible.
100%. But you know what I will say is, though, this show has given me something to look forward to. And obviously, with the National League being as exciting as it is and all things happening, it's it's definitely given me a little bit of something to look forward to whenever I'm thinking about it. But in talking about recoveries, we've got to send a shout out to Jazero Liberlegum because speedy recovery to him of Rochdale because of what happened to him over the weekend when they played Fylde. An unfortunate incident where he went into the railings of where the fans are standing. But I've heard he's making he's out of hospital now. But yeah, we wish him the best, man. Never want to see that. Never want to see that. But in talking about the results, it was another crazy, crazy weekend. And maybe we can lighten the mood a little bit. We're talking about injuries, sounds a little bit negative, but it's a realness of
it's part of the game. It's not negative, it's part of the game.
It's a part of the game that we hate, but it's real, man. Especially and there's so many teams in our league that are suffering from injuries. One of Dorking's players suffered an ACL, which is a big blow. I don't want to get his name wrong. I think it might be McShane. So wish him a speedy recovery, well. But these are the things that really derail teams. But yeah, let's get on to the games though, fam. We'll start with the bottom club, or now they are bottom club, in Kidderminster Harriers. Over the weekend, obviously we played them in a double header, playing Boreham Wood. We beat them 2-1. Lee scoring 2 in that game. Goldo Mateo scoring an amazing header, to be fair to him. That probably belonged in the Premier League, but they're now bottom of the league, rock bottom of the league. Talk to me about how you saw that game. It looked like a well-fought win.
Yeah, it was a game where like it's like okay, cool, we got out of the double header, we got like what we deserve because obviously you already know the first game, 93rd minute penalty, and we watched it back and there wasn't a penalty. I'm not just saying that because it was me as well. It wasn't a penalty. We watched it back and yeah, it's like all right, cool. We've gone to their place and we've got what we deserve, like the 3 points. The game didn't go how it went. Um, first time round on Boxing Day, it didn't go that way. If I'm being honest with you,
Yeah.
I feel like Kidderminster came and they had a little bit between their teeth. You know, it felt like I was playing against a Mateo that was hungry. Like, you know what I mean? That was like, oh, he wasn't like this the other game. I loved it. I loved it. And he got a goal. He got a goal. And he played well, to be fair. And yeah, Lee, obviously, we know Lee hasn't scored in a minute. But he's been working hard behind the scenes, what a lot of people don't see, you know. And this happens in football. But for him to get 2 goals to cap off what I think has been a great year for him, you know, because you don't look at periods, you look at things overall. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a well done to him, and it's greatly deserved, you know. And there was a lot of good performances. One that stuck out for me was Erica. I think it was amazing, you know. And I spoke to Russell Penn after the game, and Russell Penn spoke highly of him as well. But Kidderminster, they're not far off. If I'm being honest, we played them over 2 games, and it's just in the fine margins. We already know in football.
Yeah.
We already know in football. So all they need to do is just, I know it's easier said than done, but if they can just get a win and just build on on that. It hasn't got to be 5. We're not always looking at 5 wins in a row. You look at maybe X amount of points from 5 games or 6. Do you know what I mean? Like, but if they just trust the process and work on the process, then they should be all right. They should be all right. They got some decent players in that team.
I think that's the most important thing. And watching them in that first game, it's like first and second leg, isn't it? It's like a little Champions League. But yeah, watching them, and let's be honest, the way they got promoted, they probably didn't expect to be in the National League. You know, they went on an amazing run that ended up with them getting promoted. But from what I saw, as you said, they're not far off. But going back onto Lee, when he's in that form, that's why he's one of the most feared, because I don't think he realizes how good he can be. I think a lot of people can see, like, and you saw it with the goals he scored. I think one took an amazing touch. Like, I think he put one of the defenders on the floor and slotted it in beautifully. And the second goal was created by Musa Gaff, who, well done. He's going to African Cup of Nations with Tanzania. So well done to him. And it's a nice little deft finish. That is something probably we don't really associate with. You associate with pace and strength, but he's adding to his game. And that's why I think you said he's had a good year. So he can be proud of his work. It's just about find that consistency. And that's what the best players do. You see the James Norwood, the Michael Cheeks. That Lee's probably stronger and quicker than both of them, but on a consistent basis, those kind of guys are going to pop up with goals, well, however they play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, a team that has really struggled this year, AFC Fylde, coming against 10th place Rochdale. Now, I think everybody maybe would have thought this was Rochdale's game for the taking, but as we know, football's not played on paper. 17-year-old Danny Umarud, who only signed a pro in November, coming through the academy, popped up for braces.
And scored 2 in December. What an end to the year for him.
What an end to the year for him. So he's doing amazing things. Similar to Josh Stokes at Aldershot, young players, another young player coming through and doing his thing. What I remember from Fylde is they just got a team that just love to play football. And I think the way they walked the National League North last year, they probably would have expected themselves to do a little bit better this year. But for whatever reason, they haven't. But what are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, like you said, look, obviously, Fylde, they got their revenge after the Boxing Day defeat, you know, and that win takes them off the bottom of the table. I'm really happy for, I don't want to say his name, Omrod.
Yeah.
I don't say his name wrong, but Omrod, yeah, I'm really happy for Omrod. You know, what a year it's been for him, you know. What a year. And obviously, that win, obviously going into this new year now, I think it's going to do them wonders. You know what I mean? It's going to spare them with confidence, and they're going to crack on. With Rochdale, obviously they seem to have a little bit of an injury crisis at the moment. You know, obviously, like, they lost Ches yesterday. George Nevitt, who I think was brilliant, you know, and I spoke about him in the last episode. I think he's been brilliant for them. He's out for 8 weeks, you know. And Rochdale, they struggled. I think these injuries have kind of affected them because they've struggled. They've only got like 1 win in their last 5 games, I think. But there's still 2 points outside of the playoffs. So it goes to show the incredible job that the manager's doing over there, you know, doing an incredible job. And if he can just keep them in and around the mix, because remember, they've lost Sinclair this season for a period of time, you know, as well. But if you can just keep them in and around the mix until everybody's back, and when everyone's back, they can go for it. I think they'll finish the season strong.
I totally agree. Jim McNulty down there is doing great things. Coming on to Oxford versus Dorking, probably a 6-pointer against a team in Dorking at a 19th versus Oxford. McManus and Bowerman popping up with the goals, and that one ended 2-1. Sanson getting his 9th goal of the season. Probably the 2 Astro 3G teams that in our league. I'm not gonna lie to you, they need to banish 3G. I get it's a money spinner, it really helps with the club and their finances, but that 3G is horrible, man.
Yeah, let me tell you something, yeah.
It's horrible.
I was watching that game, yeah, like, and I was thinking, ooh, you've gone from AstroTurf to AstroTurf in a week. I'm thinking, I wonder how my body would have fared. Like, that's mad.
And there's times, you know, in the AstroTurf, you're gonna have to slide in the game. In a 90-minute game, as a defender especially, and you know that burn where you can't even sleep on your side after the game, yeah. It's horrible, but Dorking come out with a win in that one. Oxford, for all their football and excellence, it hasn't really translated into a lot of wins, and I'm sure with a few more performances that they performed against us at their home, I think they'll go the right way up the pitch, right way up the league. Obviously, Millstone versus Maynard was postponed, but one of the games of the day was the derby between Woking and Aldershot, a crazy game. Aldershot come out victors 3-2 on the day. Tallard, Frost, and Barnum popping up with the goals, and Reece Brown and Gregor Cox, who are two strikers that are really getting their goals this season for Woking, but it wasn't enough, and Aldershot ran out winners. There's the highest attendance of that game. 5,000 went to watch that one. I think it was around 2,000 Aldershot fans. But funny, I saw a picture. I saw a video online about when they scored their third goal. The Aldershot team ran past the crowd, giving it to the Woking fan, obviously Woking at home. And then in like a retaliation, yeah, I'm gonna say a larger than life human, that's the best way I can put it, literally ran over to the Aldershot fan, took off his shirt, belly's going everywhere, and it was a madness one. I used to send you the video, I didn't show you yet, but it was hilarious. But yeah, that was a big game. But talk to me about that one, fam.
Yeah, look, Aldershot after the stalemate on Boxing Day, Aldershot was capped off.
Card, by the way. Josh Stokes got a red
Yeah,
card.
he got sent off in the 90th minute, but it just topped off a great second half of the year for Aldershot, you know, with a great FA Cup run and a great first half of the season, you know, and seems like they want to start this year strong as how they ended it. You know what I mean? You look at Aldershot, yeah, they've got goals in that team. That's one thing I've got to tell you. So you look at Stokes with 15 goals, Talaj 12 goals, Barnum 11 goals. They've got goals in that team. So when you've got goals in the team, anything's possible, and this is why they're where they're at in the league. You know, as for Woking, look, they've got a new appointment of the manager. Obviously, that takes time. Michael Doyle, it takes time to adjust and whatnot in it. But I'm sure they'll be all right. But they do need to be careful though, because there are 2 points or 3 points, 3 points from safety with a game in hand. But we all know that games in hand, they're games in hand. You got to win it for it to count. So you can't even look at the game in hand like that, especially when you're not on the top end of the table, when you're in the bottom end of the table. You know, so you can't even look at it like that. So they do need to be a little bit careful, but I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll be all right. And I know that Michael Doyle has been doing his work. I know. Obviously, there's 1 or 2 players that he's getting in the building. I can't, for purpose reasons, I will not say until it's been announced. But yeah, he's already started.
You're like the National League insider at these days. You know,
you are, bro.
I feel like I've got my insiders, I've got my information, but I feel like you're just taking it, you're edging it at the moment. You're edging it.
Yeah, no, you got to speak to a couple of people, but yeah, like look, he's definitely doing his work, and you will see. I'm sure that you're going to see them recruit this month, and hopefully they get out of this little rut that they're in.
100%. Going on to our old club, York City, at home to my old club, Gateshead. Gateshead in 5th place, let's not forget. But York are now 6 unbeaten because they ran out 2-0 winners. Will Davis and Dipo Akinyemi, first start in 2 months after being out injured, popped out with a goal. That's 9 for him now. Probably a long way off of being one of the top goal scorers, but if it wasn't for that injury, I'm sure he would have been up there. What I love about Gateshead is, and what everyone else loves, is how they play. And to be fair, since their management staff left, they've still managed to keep pace with the right end of the table. So congrats to them. But York on the day, and let's be honest, York on their day, they can beat anyone because they've got the confidence, they've got the manager, they've got the players, and they also have the fan base as well. As we saw in one of the other games we're going to talk about later, the fan base can do a lot to be that 12th man that you need to get you over the line. So congratulations to York, starting the year off right. It's so important, isn't it, Fem, for confidence purposes, to start off the year in the right way.
Yeah, I feel like it's very important. Everybody wants to start the year with a bang, with a win, you know. And credit to York for doing that. Like he said Dippo, 9th goal of the season, come back with a start. First start. He's trying to. I know after speaking to Dips, I know that it's never over till the fat lady sings. So he's gonna be gunning to be in that top goal scorer chart and list or whatever. Now he's back, he's gonna be hungry. He's gonna really want to go for it, And do you know what? York have been they've been steady. They've been steady. Last 6 games they've got 10 points, which I think is decent form. Remember they were like not near relegation, but flirting with it, and I think that's a good return. And steadily, gradually, you'll see them move up the table, and hopefully they can continue that decent form that they're on. I saw a tweet from Gateshead after the defeat, and it was such a beautiful tweet, and it's very simple. It was very simple, but I found it so beautiful. They tweeted, defeats doesn't define us. And I just feel like the energy at that club is a mad, beautiful energy, You know what I mean? I feel like everyone there is just so relaxed and chilled and like, okay, on to the next. Like in a good way, they've got memories of a goldfish. Like, do you know what I mean? Like in terms of, okay, we lost, but we move on. Like we move on. We're not gonna bring that into tomorrow, and it was just beautiful. And I don't know why that touched me. I don't know why it touched me, but I think it touched me because they meant it. Yeah. You know when you speak to Bustard and you see his energy and you just know that's the environment that they're in. They're being serious about that. So that was beautiful to see. And yeah, they're currently sitting fifth in the table. Obviously, they're in the race for playoffs. But if I'm being honest with you, that race for playoffs is it's about 4 teams. There's about 4 teams on 40 points, and that's starting with Gateshead. So from 5th to 9th place, all on 40 points, which is crazy. And then between 5th and 11th place is like 3 points or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely hotting up. It's definitely hotting up. Obviously, there were so many games over that weekend that could have been billed as the game of the day, but one ended in a 6-goal thriller. One was an 8-goal thriller. One was a 5-goal thriller. So we're going to get onto some of them in a second, but obviously we just want to say that Halifax versus Altrincham, probably disappointed for a neutral standpoint. It was a 0-0. Obviously, Altrincham have been flying high and Halifax at that big pitch. I was thinking Altrincham might nick that one simply because of the way they played, but it was a bore draw. Probably wasn't, but it was a bore draw for the neutral spectator. But one that wasn't, a game that fantastically sums up the National League, was Eastleigh versus Dagenham and Redbridge. In the first game they played against each other, Dagenham scored 4 goals, managed to win. And in this game, they managed to score 4 goals again, but somehow they drew 4-4. Yeah. Now, no prizes for guessing who scored Eastleigh's goals. Mr. Paul McCallum started his year off how we left the last, with a hat-trick, 21 goals in 21 games. I think he's got 25 goals in 23 games. He's just doing a madness this year. Harris was also the man to score for Eastleigh, but Tom Eastman, Josh Reese got 2, and Ini Effiong scored in back-to-back games as well. Listen, 4-4 for me.
Crazy.
How do you score 8 goals in 2 games and only come away with 4 points?
4 points. It's crazy. If we're scoring 8 goals in 2 games, I need maximum points. And it's so funny.
I need everything.
Let me tell you what's so funny about it. Yeah. Right. Against Kiddie on the weekend, yeah. We were 2-1 up at half time, yeah. And I've gone to the attackers. I've gone, do you know what? You guys have done your job today. I complain a lot, but you guys have done your job. We've got 2 away goals. So it's on us to win it. Like, that's it. That's all I can ask. So to score 4, I bring it back. To score 4, bro, to get the 3 points. But this is what I'm saying. When you've got someone like McCallum that's firing the way he's firing, boy, anything he touches is going to a goal. And we played against him like last month. And he literally, anything that comes off his foot goes in the net. If you saw the goals he scored.
Like, over his head, you know?
Yeah.
There's one, I think for his hat trick, he scored a header at the back stick, and I swear, fam, it was like, if anyone watches NBA, it was like a poster. He
It was crazy.
literally jumped over two men.
I saw it. But what's crazy was that he was even the only person in the box. And they were like, but it was great delivery. But
It was a 3v1, including the goalkeeper. It was a 3v1, and he
3v1. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a free. That's like a dunk. That's like a dunk. Like, you know what I mean? And it was and the players trusted that, you know what, you're the only one in the box, you're getting this free, but if I get this ball to you, yeah, you're gonna score. And that's what happened.
No, fam, can you imagine the confidence that's running through that boy's body right now?
Crazy.
Like, can you imagine the feeling? Because I know when I score one goal, I think, oh, do you know what, Jam? We can get another one here, you know. But to score 21 goals in 21 league games, like, do you know what? Are they even going to be able to keep him in January?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because don't be surprised if a club like Wrexham think, you know what? He's on fire. Let's just get a game.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you can't, and we're going to get on to Chesterfield, but obviously they're not missing him. But 21 goals in 21 games, do you know how hard that is to do? Some people don't score 21 goals in 2 seasons, let alone 1.
It's crazy.
Half a season. So, yeah, whatever he's eating, whatever he's drinking, I need some of that, man. I need some of that.
To get 21 goals halfway through, people will take that for the whole season. Strikers will.
Femi, I know people that will take that for 2 seasons. Let's be honest, with 10 goals in a calendar year, okay, yeah, you can. We know we can rely on you to score goals.
Yeah.
21?
It's crazy.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Barnet going about their business very quietly. Alou popping up with a goal in the game against Southend. They won that game 1-0. I heard Laurie Walker had an absolute worldie, one of our ex-guests. So well done to him. Barnet, after could we call it a rocky patch? But after a few results that probably they weren't happy with, they seem to got back on a horse quite confidently, and they're going about their business. I'm sure their coaching staff and obviously, you know, Connor Smith down there will be really appreciative of. But I know this is a club that you had high praise for in our last episode.
Let's talk about this Barnet game a little bit, because I've got to give them their flowers. Because
Go on.
I feel like for me, over the Christmas period, they've been the team of the Christmas period. They got maximum points over the Christmas period, which I think is good, and it propels you. And it just seems like the league, and you mentioned Bromley, which is the next fixture. It just seems like that Bromley, Chesterfield, Barnet are kind of running away from the rest of the pack right now. You know, and credit to those three teams. But obviously with Southend, who I wanted to touch on as well. You know what? It's been a tough year, innit? Let's dust ourselves down, go again. Transfer embargo lifted. Let's go. Like, that's what they need to do.
I signed some players, and they signed. They done like announcements for Jason Dimitri, who I was in the Leonora youth team with. I think Ralph as well, Jack Bridge.
Yeah, they will sign new.
It was nice to see. It was nice
to see because they deserve that. Remember, these guys are all on non-contracts as well because of what's going on. So it's nice to see that they've been rewarded with deals, and there's a level of loyalty as well. People say, "Oh, football's not loyal." There you go. There's an element of loyalty in football. I understand what people do say. Don't get twisted at times, but there goes to show that there can be loyalty in football, and they've been rewarded with deals, you know. And like I said, the transfer embargo lifted. They already started with signing James Morton from Western Superman. And yeah, like, I won't be surprised if you see them recruiting this month as well. Like, onwards and upwards for them. Like, just forget about everything. That's what I'm saying. Just forget about everything. Let's go now. That would be my mood if I'm in the Southend building, in the Southend dressing room. Like, let's go now, innit? Like,
I had that 10-point deduction as well, you know. Like,
exactly.
10 points, and they managed to totally eradicate. You wouldn't even. It's like a distant memory.
That's it.
That 10-point deduction, but yeah, hats off to them for not resting on their laurels. And as you said, Barnet, hats off to them. Huge respect for what they're doing. And the Lewis popped up with some important goals as well. I know he scored against us at our place, so he's really put his name on the goal scorer sheet. And to be fair, him and Danny Collins are probably having the battle up like me and you used to do when we're trying to get the top goal scorer defender for the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, Talking about second place, Bromley. Ebbsfleet, really tough at the moment. Luke O'Neill put them in front on 8 minutes. But that man, Michael Cheek, scoring his 13th goal this season. Crahus obviously getting a brace. Olamola getting his 9th. And Kirk rounding things off. Bromley look like they are hitting the gears at the right time, but also just not letting Chesterfield go too far away. How do you see that one, fam?
Bromley, I've got to give them massive credit, they done the double over Ebbsfleet as well, which is maximum points as well. And you know what, yeah, we all know what Cheek does, but you see Omalola, yeah, contributing with 9 goals. That's 22 goals between the pair. It's amazing to see somebody assisting your top goal scorer. Like it's always a pleasure. Like I'm sure strikers must appreciate it, and teams must appreciate it when you've got your talisman, but you've got someone that's chipping in their fair share.
It's like Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it's literally like that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And I know, like, Omalola, he's definitely playing his role. He's definitely like, do you know what? I've come in there. You're the main man, but do you know what? I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. And he's not only scoring. Remember, his 9 goals. He's also assisting as well. So he's been a breath of fresh air for them. And I heard he's a serious guy. I heard when he walked into that building, he walked in like, yeah, let's go, like, let's go. And he got the respect of the boys like immediately because of just how seriously he takes himself. You know what I mean? So that's brilliant. And Crowhouse as well. 5 goals this year. He's chipping in as well. Chipping away. But with Ebbsfleet, obviously, look, Ebbsfleet going for a tough period. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, isn't it? And they're obviously in the bottom four. In the bottom four right now. I think they're third from bottom. But they just need to get that when they've got players. They've got players.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They've got players. Like they've got players that have had crazy careers. So it's just about getting those players going. What's gonna motivate those players to go and go hard? If that makes sense, like, because I know Dominic Samuel, I've played against Dominic Samuel, he's a problem. We all know Don Polion's a problem. We all know Miles Kenlock, he's still got that fire within him. He played in the championship, still has it with him. And he's doing really well, to be fair. I've got to go and play, he did really well at Ebbsfleet. But they've got players in that building, So it's just about getting them going and getting them clicking. Because with the personnel, if you was to write their team on paper, if you're writing on paper, you're going to think I'm crazy, but maybe after Chesterfield, Ebbsfleet's team on paper,
Great team.
do you understand? It might maybe not compete with Chesterfield's, but in terms of their careers and what they've achieved, they've got us. It's a top 3, 4, top 5 maximum team in this division on paper, like So yeah, they just need to get them going, hopefully, yeah.
Just to touch back onto Bromley and what you said about Olamola, I think in football you give to receive. So when you see like a striker pass to another striker, they want to assist each other. Okay, you know what? Next time I get a chance, and it's probably on to give it to you, I'm going to do it. And it seems like there's that togetherness. But of all those strikers, we didn't even talk about Louis Dennis. We didn't even talk about Corey Whiteley. Let's not forget, Andy Woodman went and got Levi from Maidstone as well, who was their top goal scorer. So it's like, he's not resting on his laurels, similar to what Chesterfield done. The Gans get the best players, maybe from the league below, but goals get goals. Let's not forget that. So it's going to be interesting, that run-in. And that's a team that are probably, at the moment, are looking most likely to be you won't want to meet them in the playoffs, put it that way, because they probably learned from their last mistake, similar to us, but they're going so well. And going on to Oldham, 9th place Oldham going against 18th place Hartlepool, who sadly lost their manager. I say sadly, it sounds like he passed away. He didn't pass away. John Askey got relieved of duties as a Hartlepool manager, but Mike Fondop, Josh Stones, condemning them to another defeat. It's a tough place to be at the moment, isn't it, Hartlepool?
Really, really tough place to be. I think they recruited well. That's the worst thing about it. I thought they'd done decent recruitment. Askey's won the division, Mancini getting injured early on in the season was a massive, massive blow for them, you know, but they replaced him with bringing Nicky Featherstone back. We all know what he brings to the table, you know. But it's just, yeah, they just seem to be in the rut right now. Seem to be in the rut. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Because it's like, it's never ending. Like, it's just going, it's like because they started off the season okay. I remember looking in August, September, and they were top 7. And every month it just went boom, boom, boom.
Everyone was singing their praises. There was no disgruntled fans. Everyone was happy with the way it was going. And that's the National League for you, man.
Crazy. And even when you just told me that 18th, I was like, I knew they were 18th, but it hit me. Like that doesn't make, not Hartlepool. Not Hartlepool, you know.
It's a massive club. And you know what? For them, it might just be about sustaining this year. You can't have double relegation. You don't want to be a Scunthorpe. And yes, Scunthorpe are doing well this season, but you don't want to have a double relegation. That's the hardest thing to do, is to come back up again. And maybe, yes, ideally every fan thinks, do you know what, we shouldn't be in the National League. Let's go back up straight away automatically. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. And so many players say the same when they're coming down from a bigger club. Like, yeah, I'm just going to be here for a couple months. I'm going to get my move. But it doesn't work like that. So maybe they need to change their targets and their goals. But yeah, hopefully they manage to stay in the league. Yeah. And I've left this game till last. Chesterfield versus Solihull. Obviously, Solihull played them the game before and beat them 2-0. Chesterfield were now at home. 9,000 strong at the stadium, cheering them on. A crazy game, and we spoke about it, and I said maybe Solihull have shown everyone the blueprint. The last episode, I said they showed them the blueprint. I got a couple of messages. I was like, Jam, what have you done? But they went 2-0 up. They went 2-0 up. Mark Warburton and Beck put them 2 up. That big skyscraper of a human being. Beck put them 2-0 up. And then something happened for them. I don't know what happened, but I checked the score and I saw 2-1 from Tom Naylor. I thought, oh, okay. It might be time. That was at 63 minutes. And then I thought my phone was glitching. 66 minute, Cole Clough. Yeah. I thought, refreshed it, thinking it's just glitched. 3-2 Grigg, 69 minutes. I said, oh my God, how? I was thinking it takes you a minute or so to get the ball out of the net, back to the centre circle, fam. And I was like, so if that's 3 minutes, how did they score in another 3 minutes? But you know what I saw, fam? I saw a video. Every goal that went in, they picked up that ball and they all sprinted to the centre circle, fam. And
why didn't no Solihull players stop them from picking up the ball and running it back?
There's game management, fam. And sometimes, the first goal I can accept. The first one I can accept.
Yeah.
But they didn't even celebrate. They all ran back to the... It was like they were doing 35ers. They ran straight back to the centre circle, all got back in position. Talk to me, fam, because I don't know how Solihull let that happen. It looked as though they were going to be the first team to beat Chesterfield at home, but I know what you think it's going to be, fam. But how did they do that, Chesterfield? Talk to me.
I prepared for this one, so look at this. Look at this. And you might have to even look when we do this editing. We might have to get some stats on the screen.
Okay.
I'm going to read something to you right now. Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
Because I've been screaming it all season, but the numbers are there to show you. Grigg, 13 goals. Naylor, 8 goals. Quigley, 7 goals. Colclough, 7 goals. Banks, 6 goals. Dobra, 6 goals. Mandeville, 5 goals.
I'm not good at math, but I feel like that's 100 goals. That's a lot of goals. That's a lot of goals.
Jan, 7 goal scorers, 5 and above. Your top goal scorers on 13. Your 7 top goal scorers on 5. It's crazy what's going on there, bro. They know how to score, bruv. That's 7. How many players are left on the pitch? 4.
They really know where the goal is.
Hey, that's 4 players left. Then you got Williams, Rhymes, centre halves, 2 goals each. Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? 7 out of 11 players on the pitch can score at any time. And that's the scary thing. And you need to understand as well, we already know, Jan, we play football. 2-0 is very, very uncomfortable scoreline.
That's my worst scoreline. I hate 2-0. I hate 2-0.
Especially away from home, because all it is the one goal, and then the crowd just decide to get behind you. And you see at the SMH Group Stadium, shake my head. That's what I'm calling it. I don't even know what SMH sounds for, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm calling it for shake my head SMH. Let me be 19 again and do this SMH. Yeah. Jamal, see the SMH Group Stadium. When that place gets rocking, bro, I've been saying, when the crowd gets behind you, it's a different energy. You're getting swarms. And when I watched that video today, you heard the noise. You heard it. It was too much. And that's what probably happened, man. It was just too much to take. 3 minutes, 3 goals. Like, come on. It's crazy.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And obviously it was a televised game, so a great advert for the National League. And this is why I love the National League so much, because it's just anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
And when you've got Paul Cook, who's mad in himself, but I heard the interview after and he said it's probably not meant to be like that, but it is, isn't it? That's what he said. And it's just, I can just imagine the energy on the sideline when they scored that first goal. The crowd must have erupted. It must have been rocking. Because I remember playing against Bradford one time away when I was playing for York. And when they scored, and it was deafening to the point where I was like, whoa.
Yeah, Bradford get the 17, 16, 16.
Oh, and obviously the tears go high. But that's the closest thing to it. When you got 9,000 fans screaming, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But
on Solihull though, look, they over Christmas period, they took Chesterfield down, you know, so 3 points each in it, and they almost done it again. And they're still sitting 4th in the table. But they need to be a little bit careful, because although they're sitting 4th in the table, they're like 19th in the form guide, you know, with just like 6 points in the last 6 games. And you wanna pick that up, because teams in and around you are hungry and they're going for them wins every week. So you need to be in and amongst it as well, getting them wins, because you don't want to fall down the table and look at the end of January, end of Feb, and you're 11th. Like, you know what I mean? It's that tight. It's that tight right now.
100%. 100%. So that rounds up another crazy fixture weekend. That was definitely the game of the day. I know Dagenham versus Eastleigh was 4-4, and I know Bromley won 5-1, but that game being televised as well, that was a game. That was a game and a half, man. That was a game and a half. But yeah, let's move on to, as always, it's just me and you today. But I want some advice, Fem. It's a new year. I want some advice for the younger players that are watching this, for the people that take in our content. Give us some advice for people to take into the new year, fam.
Hey, I'm gonna give you some advice, and this is something that I'm taking into the new year personally. So this is my advice word for the week, or advice word of the week. Yeah, this is, don't leave anything to chance. I've told myself that this year I'm not leaving nothing to chance. And what I mean by that is every single thing you can control. If you want the outcome of certain something, like, you know, whatever your outcome is I want to lose this weight by end of the year, or I want to make this much money, or whatever. It could be anything. It could be anything, you know. Let's not leave things to chance and just hope for the best. No. We are going to make sure that we do everything in our control to make sure that we can reach the outcome. We're not doing percentages anymore. We're not doing hoping for the best. We're not going into games hoping that we play well. we're going into games knowing that we've played well because we've done the work. You know, we're going into everything we do knowing that the work has been done. That way, if we fail, we can sleep at night. Then we failed.
Yeah.
We're not asking ourselves any questions, you know. And I'm taking this one. You already know, I think, like how my brain programs like a robot. So you can imagine what this is doing for my head right now, Jamal. You on a personal level. Do you know what I mean?
Taking notes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking notes. Yeah.
We are not taking chances.
No.
We are going to do everything in our control to receive the outcome, you know, and that's my advice for the year. So that's it.
I love that. I love that. Full throttle. We're up in everything this year. I put that on my Instagram today. It's time, man.
Yeah.
Time. Like, look how quick that year went. If literally felt like it was January, February, March, November, December. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
But my word of the week to start off the year is discipline. And it all stems from where you can, because this is the most important thing. I think you've really got to put yourself first where you can, and be who you need to be before you need to be for someone else. Does that make sense, fam? So there's always going to be someone that needs you. There's always going to be someone that is asking for your time, but sometimes you've got to make sure you're good before you can give to anyone else. Because as you know, you can't give water from an empty well. So that's what I'm going to try and practice. Now I'm always trying to be selfless and give, but sometimes you got to give to yourself first. But as I said, where you can, because obviously we've all got people that we need to look after and making sure that people are good. But yeah, that's my word of the week, word of the year, just to start off. But yeah, man, I've got a good feeling about this year. I've got a good feeling about this year.
It's gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a great year. I'll say our last 2 to 3 years, it's been getting better and better. God willing, with God by our side, it continues, you know, it continues to just keep getting better and progressing and progressing. And even the tough periods, like they can shape a good year because it's like I've overcome this, you know. So I don't even look at them tough periods like, oh, it's been a bad year because this happened.
Yeah.
No, it's been a great year because I've been through this and I managed to come out on top. It's been a wonderful year, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all about perspective, Jam. It's all about how you look at things. You know, I'm never gonna be a guy. I refuse. I'm disrespectful. I refuse to quit. You know, even when everyone, imagine you're in a boxing ring, yeah, everyone's like, "Fem, just throw the tap." No, bro, I'm not doing it. Find a way. I'm disrespectful, bro. Like,
I think what's important in that, Fem, is that I think we really hold ourselves accountable.
yeah.
One of the days where we can blame external factors or look for somebody else to blame. It's about, okay, how was I in this situation? How did I contribute to this outcome? You know, when you start doing that, you open up different doors to your mind and
That's it.
how to move forward. I think that's the most important thing, holding yourself accountable, especially, it's hard though. That ain't easy.
Very, very hard.
That's not easy. That takes time. That takes time. You know those people, you say something and they be, yeah, but this happened, and yeah, but I hate a yeah, but person.
Yeah.
I hate the yeah, but person. There's yeah, but people and the people that always think about the past and not really looking forward. Those are the two people that really get to me. But
My friends know me very well, the people that do that type of stuff. As soon as my friends do that stuff to me, I told them, hey, I'm gonna start calling you excuses from now.
we've said that to a few people over the years.
Your new name is excuses.
We've said that a few times. We've said that a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, fam, is there anything else that you want to say to start the year off? Because we've gone through it all, man. We've gone through it all.
Nah, it's been a great episode. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, guests cancelled on us, but we're still here having a blast, you know. I'm saying you can always turn bad situations into good, you know. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy. And yeah, this year, look, we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to be better. We're going to continue to be better. We're going to continue to deliver content to you on a weekly basis, and just continue to grow and develop as well, you know. So just continue to rock with us, continue to watch our episode. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You don't know how much that helps us. And keep your eyes peeled, because we're going to be trying to do a lot of things regarding Beyond the 92 this year. So yeah.
Nah, I echo everything Femi said. Hey, this has been another great episode for sure, Fem. I'm not gonna lie, I was the one that was like, damn, what are we gonna do? I FaceTime Femi. I was like, what are we gonna do, Femi? The jam? We're gonna have to do it. I said, you know what? Let's do it. But yeah, man, thanks, Fem. You get me through a lot of situations, bro.
Likewise, bro. It's calm.
But yeah, this has been another. Actually, that's another thing. Find yourself a Femi, someone you can talk to when you're kind of crazy, and they can just level you out. Find yourself a Femi. Yeah. This has been Beyond the 92. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Goodbye from me.